Hi, welcome to the Autocar show. Now, a lot of manufacturers have been talking about bringing in luxury hatches, but seems like Mercedes is making the first move. The A-Class is here and all set to be launched at the end of this month. Now, they want to move away from that image that they have, being a car that's for older buyers, a little bit fuddy-duddy. They want to be seen as young and hip and cool, and the way this car looks seems like they're definitely going in the right direction. Well, we've got our hands on the Indian A-Class for an exclusive. Let's take a closer look. Well, this is a car that you can just look and look and look at. It's simply stunning. The prominent grille with the diamond-shaped bits, flared headlamps, and the bold character lines that zigzag across the car really make it stand out from the crowd. No doubt it's a far cry from the stately Mercs of old. This car looks young and full of attitude. This car sits quite squat to the ground, and with the low roof, twin exhausts and 17-inch smoked alloys, it has a rather sporty stance. Slippery shape also gives it a good drag coefficient of 0.27. Though it's shaped like a hatch, this one is not small. It's 4,292 millimeters long, 1,780 millimeters wide, and 1,433 millimeters tall, which makes it approximately the size of a Fiesta saloon. Now, looking at those dimensions, one would imagine a lot more room on the inside. The rear seat space is decent by hatchback standards. But it's the all-black interiors, the small windows, and the tight headroom which gives it a sense of being a little cramped. However, this car is more meant for the person who likes to be behind the wheel. Sit in the snug, sporty driver's seat and you're sure to like what you see. Well, what can I say? This interior just blows you away as much as the exterior looks do. It feels really, really premium, and not only that, it looks nice and sporty, especially with these chrome-ringed vents that really give it a sports car look. There's leather on the dash. There's the command system, everything neatly laid out. You've got your steering controls. You've even got paddle shift, which in a hatch is quite exceptional. Meters, the dials, everything quite fantastic. Lots of space for storage. You've got your USB, you've got your iPod Connect, and I've got electronic memory seat for myself. The only thing I found is that when I put the seat into my position, which is all the way up because I like to see the road, and if I bring the seat forward, this tends to touch the roof, the headrest. So that's a bit awkward. Once you get driving though, you realize the rear window is a bit small and restricts visibility, like the steeply raked front, which can unnerve some in traffic. If you're shortish like me, you'll also find yourself peering around the thick A-pillars to see the corners. There is no electric steering adjustment, and the front passenger seat is manual too. However, those criticisms are just little needles in a haystack. The quality otherwise is faultless, and the A-Class is well loaded as I described before. Even the massive panoramic sunroof comes as standard. Once you're behind the wheel of the A-Class, it's hard to believe you're in a small hatch. Everything just feels so premium. You feel like you're in a luxury car. You've got all the equipment you need. And the music system's pretty impressive too. I was pretty impressed by the quality of sound the system put out, even for the regular radio channels. There's no doubt that the A gives you a sense of luxury that you will not have experienced before in another hatch. The weakest link in its package, though, is the engine.
The 1.6-litre turbocharged petrol motor puts out 122 bhp and 20.4 kgm of torque, which, considering its 1,375 kg weight, isn't exceptional.
If you're in the city ambling around, this engine does pretty well. You can slow down, and if you're at part throttle, it does fine. It's only when you put your foot flat down that you feel a bit of lag. You have to spin it past the 3000 RPM mark to get going. But you always have the paddle shift to make a quick shift down, and then you don't have any lag at all.
You find yourself tugging at those paddle shifts quite often, using the 7-speed gearbox that responds well. The gearbox itself has 3 modes: economy, sport and manual. Now, driven flat out, the A-Class serves up to 100 in 9.76 seconds, which isn't bad, but it just doesn't feel effortless. Though it's quite silent at idle and cruising speeds, there's a bit of harshness towards the end of the rev range. And where the engine falls short, the chassis more than makes up.
The steering is really sharp, points the car exactly where you want it to go, and the one thing that this car has is phenomenal levels of grip.
For a front-engine front-wheel drive, it has surprisingly little understeer. Body control is great and the tires just hug the road. It thrills you with the way it carries speed into the corners, and even mid-corner bumps don't affect the A-Class's composure. The phenomenal brakes just add to your level of confidence, knowing it'll bring you to a stop exactly when you want. This car recorded the shortest braking distance we've ever come across. But it's not only the corners. You can drive at high speeds down a highway, and the A feels so stable that you forget its size. However, drive on the bad roads and you do find another chink in the armor.
Now, when you're going over really bad sections of road, you hear the suspension, you hear the sounds, and that lets this down a bit, because when it's a Mercedes, you just expect more refinement.
Being a Merc, you expect it to be airtight on the inside, cut away from the rest of the world, and that feeling is missing. There is also some road noise which filters in at high speeds.
The ride for such low-profile tires is really not bad, but sharper bumps and potholes do catch it out, and in the back seat they filter through quite a bit.
The low-speed ride, which is what everyone will experience in the city, is quite impressive. And though it clears the smaller speed breakers, with its low stance, you do have to watch out over the larger ones. It will scrape its belly.
The A-Class really not big on space in the back seat, and it's more a car that's enjoyed from behind the wheel. It's got those super premium interiors, it's well loaded, the engine is nice enough, the dynamics are great, and of course, it looks really hot. So in that sense, it offers up everything that you want from a luxury hatchback. But of course, all of it comes at a price, and quite a high one at that. This one is going to be just a shade below the B-Class, and it's not what we expect in India, a well-priced hatch. It is expensive. It's for the person who wants that premium luxury in a compact size without bothering about the price.